Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
let's
sir.
good. So let's start. So when we talk about transcription, we already have learned that transcription allows the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, to form the RNA. All right, it is going to form the RNA. So DNA is going to have the information for the genetic, or it is going to act as a genetic material, the storehouse of that, whereas the RNA is going to act as a messenger. And we know that in future, right, this RNA eventually give rise to protein, that we'll talk about in a separate process anyway. So DNA is going to give rise to the RNA with the help of the process of transcription. Now, what you have to keep in mind here is the DNA and the RNA. Here, when we talk about DNA is typically present as double helix. So dsDNA, or we can call it double helix, right? So there are two strands of the DNA, but when we talk about the RNA, we know that RNA is going to be typically single stranded. Okay, so the question is, of these two strands, is it that the both strands are involved in production of RNA, or if it is one, why only one strand of the DNA, and why not both the strands of the DNA that is going to form the RNA? Now, another thing that you have to question, another question that you have to think before we start is, in case of the DNA replication, let's first answer this. So in case of DNA replication, the entire length of DNA, right, that is involved, entire length of DNA is associated. But when we talk about the process of transcription, what we are saying is a part of the DNA is involved, right? A gene or a part of RNA is involved. So here, in case of the process of transcription, it is the part of DNA, a segment, right? Part, or we can call the segment of DNA that is associated. So when we talk about a segment or part of DNA, there is again a question that you need to somehow put a limit on the DNA. See, when we talk about DNA replication, if I'm going to have the DNA double helix, there's no problem, because the entire segment of the DNA is going to be replicated. But when I'm talking about transcription, right, if I'm going to have the entire segment of DNA, of this entire segment, maybe I don't want the entire thing, and maybe I want a particular sequence to be transcribed, right? So maybe it is only this much area that I want to, right, it is the maybe target DNA, right? So what is required here is somehow we need to demarcate, we need to put a boundary on which area of the DNA has to be undergoing the process of transcription. So two questions: in the DNA replication, you have the entire segment of DNA, is it involved in the process? So there is no problem. But when we talk about transcription, it is a segment of the DNA that is involved in the process of transcription. So how is it that that particular segment of DNA is getting recognized and undergoing the process of transcription? So we'll answer this. Now the second question that I was asking is, we are going to have the double helix in case of DNA, and in the DNA replication, both the strands of the DNA are involved. But in case of RNA, right, in case of replication, the double helix DNA is going to give rise to only a single stranded RNA molecule. Now, is it the two strands, why are they not associated? So we'll go and try to answer this question first. So first, let me answer this part, first part. Why not both the strands of DNA? See, there are two reasons for that. When both the strands of DNA are going to be associated, right? So if I'm going to have a DNA double helix, and imagine both the strands are going to give rise to 5 prime, let's say 3 prime, and 3 prime, 5 prime. If both the strands give rise to two different RNA, right? If both the strands are transcribed, they'll give rise to two different RNA, and let's say both are, let's say 5 prime 3 prime, and here also it is going to be 5 prime 3 prime. Let's say these are the RNA molecules. Now the problem here is, these both the strands here are complementary. That is, A combines with T, B combines with C. Who is this number, fellow? Once again, I need to remove and I'm going to log the meeting now. Sorry for the problem. And no one can join right now. Yeah, we're done. Sorry for the disturbance. Somebody was actually logged in to the link. Are you people sharing the link outside the group? Anyone is sharing the link outside the group? If you are doing, please don't do it. Okay. Or else you'll be in a little trouble. Anyways, I'm back. So we are going to have double standard DNA, and if the DNA, both the strands are going to be transcribed, then in that case we are going to have the RNA formed, and both of this RNA, they are going to be complementary to each other, right? And if they're complementary to each other, what will they form? They'll form a double stranded structure. Because they're complementary to each other, they'll form dsRNA. And this is something that is not required, because when you form the dsRNA, the problem is it simply cannot be, it cannot undergo translation. I hope you're able to understand. So when you're going to have a double stranded RNA, because of the complementary here, it cannot be translated. And imagine by chance you are going to have both of these also, somehow they're not forming the dsRNA, they will form two different type of proteins. And that again is going to complicate the further events. So these are the two reasons. One is the formation of a double stranded RNA that will, not allow the translation to go on, or if at all the translation occurs, there will be production of two different types of protein, and that will further complicate the events that are yet to come. And that is why what happens is, of the two DNA strands, right, double helix DNA, it is only one DNA strand that is associated, or that is going to be used as a template for the RNA synthesis, RNA strand synthesis. Clear? Are you clear on this part?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. Let's move on. Second question.
Sir, please repeat again, sir.
Yeah, sure, Ayushi. Listen, what I'm trying to say is, why not both the strand of DNA that is going to be associated with the process of transcription? Answer is simple. First point, we cannot have both the DNA strand involved in RNA production or RNA strand synthesis, because when both the DNA strands are going to be involved in the process of transcription, they'll give rise to two RNA strands, two separate RNA strands. And because the new RNA strands are going to be based on complementary sequence of the DNA, right? Only fact, what is the difference? A typically bonds with G, and C triples bond with U. I'm sorry, A, T, C, G. So if the DNA strands with A, T, C, G, now in the RNA, if it is part of DNA, in the RNA, what will I get? I will get U, A, G, C. That is, except the U, rest all is going to be simply complementary to the DNA strand. So overall, what is going to happen is, these two RNA strands that are going to be produced based on the complementary of the DNA strand, these two RNA strands will also be complementary to each other. That means they will be opposite, base pairing. They will form the base pairing that will form the double stranded RNA. And when you're going to have a double stranded RNA, of course, it cannot be accessed by the translation machinery, and it cannot be translated. So the protein will not be produced. That is the first point, right? And second point is, if at all somehow the dsRNA is not formed and both the RNA strands are going to be translated, in that case there are two different set of proteins, completely different set of proteins, which again is undesired for.
Complicated.
Yes. Clear? Are you clear now, Ayushi and others?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's move on to the next thing, next question. Now, I was saying that here in DNA replication, you have the entire length of the DNA associated. Now, why, like, let's say, and in case of transcription, it is a segment of the DNA, right? Why it is happening, or how it is going to be, working out. So what happens is, in this, there is basically in transcription, what we speak is, we speak of a transcription unit, and the transcription unit is consisting of 3 different components. Number 1 is a promoter, a regulatory unit, a regulatory sequence you can call it. Second is the structural gene, structural gene, and third component is a sequence called the terminator sequence. So 3 components. When we talk about transcription, 3 components are there: promoter, structural gene, and terminator. So whenever there is going to be transcription, you have to understand that the transcription will occur only within the transcription unit, and without the transcription unit, the transcription is impossible. Understood? Now let's see what the transcription unit is. Now I have already drawn this diagram. Imagine there are 2 strands of the DNA. One is going to be in the 3' to 5' direction, other one is in 5' to 3' direction. Now on one end, what you see, I have written a promoter. So on the left hand side there is a promoter, and on the right hand side there is a terminator. Now in the center, what you see is a structural gene. I'll tell you the roles of these. Now the promoter is essential to begin the process of transcription, right? They have the sequences that will allow the enzymes, right? What is the enzyme here? Enzyme is DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Okay, it is called DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Now why it is called DNA dependent? Because for its functioning of the RNA polymerase, the polymerase function to work, it is dependent on the DNA, because the DNA here is going to act as a template. So we need a template DNA based on which it is going to form the sequence, complementary sequence, and thereby the RNA. So here what happens, there are 2 things. One is going to be called the coding sequence, and one is called the template sequence. So what you see here, the yellow line, it is going to be called the template strand. Okay, it is called the template strand. Now why I wrote template strand there, and why cannot I write template strand here? Anybody can tell me, based on the fact that the polymerase is going to polymerize only in a single direction. So the polymerase is going to polymerize in 5' to 3' direction only. Yes, anybody? Can I write the template here? Blue line, can I write the template on the blue line? Are you able to understand my question or not? Hello, are you able to hear?
Sir, please repeat the question.
Okay. So my question is, these 2 are the strands of DNA that you see on the board. Now I have written template strand in one place. Am I right to write the template strand there, or do you think the template strand is not this one, it can be the second strand? Am I right on writing template strand there?
The second strand, sir.
This
Second strand, because 5' to 3'.
Okay.
This is from 5' to 3', sir.
To 3'.
So what I'm writing is wrong, right? I have to change it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I will clarify my thing, my point again. So what I said earlier, it is the DNA strand. DNA strand, ठीक है? तो DNA strand से क्या बनेगा? RNA बनेगा ना? तो RNA जब बनेगा, RNA का जो synthesis होगा, polymerization होगा, उसका direction क्या है? उसका direction है 5' to 3'. तो हमारा जो नया strand बनेगा वो 5' to 3' में जाएगा. तो आपका टेम्पलेट स्टैंड किस में बनेगा? टेम्पलेट स्टैंड विल बी 3 प्राइम टू 5 प्राइम,
3 prime to 3 prime.
3 प्राइम टू 5 प्राइम, ठीक है ना? अभी समझ में आया? सो द टेम्पलेट स्टैंड हियर इज गोइंग टू बी 3 प्राइम टू 5 प्राइम. Now, funny enough, or for some reason, the one that does not code for anything, that is called, this one is called coding strand. It is called coding strand. So the top one, what you see is the template strand, because the entire sequence of the RNA is going to be based on the sequence of the template DNA. It is going to be complementary to it. And now what you see on the bottom, that is with the direction of 5 prime to 3 prime, that is called coding strand, and the sequence of the coding strand is going to be exactly the same as that of the RNA, right? Except the fact that instead of your T, you will be getting the U there. Remaining all, it is going to be exact replica. Now this reference, again, one more thing what we do, all the point position referencing that we do in a what you call the transcription unit is based on the coding strand. So when we say the promoter region, right, this particular promoter region, which is essential to start the process of transcription, it is going to be present upstream, right? So upstream of the structural gene. That means anything that is on the left hand side of the coding strand, that is going to be called the, or the regulator, that is called the upstream region. So this one, this area here, right? So this area here, it is called, sorry for the handwriting, upstream. Okay, so this is my upstream region, and the regions here, it is called downstream. So anything which is on the left of the coding strand is called upstream, and on the right it is called downstream. So accordingly, the promoter is going to be in a upstream region of the structural gene, and the terminator is going to be on the downstream region of the transcription unit of the coding strand. Again, all of this numbering, all of this referencing, it is based on the coding strand only and not on the template strand. Template strand is going to be complementary to the RNA molecule, and the coding strand is going to be a it is going to be similar or the same sequence of that of the RNA, except in the RNA you're going to have U instead of T. Are you clear on these things, students?
Yes, sir.
Others, are you all clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now examination point of view. From exam point of view, this particular part, the transcription unit, is a very commonly asked question. Many a times they ask you to draw it, and many a times they ask questions based on these. Okay, yeah, one thing I did not tell you till now. Roll up terminator, right? As the name suggests, terminator sequence is essential to end the process of transcription. Promoter is required to start the process. Terminator is required to end the process of the entire transcription. Okay, so let me see if I have missed anything. Yeah, I think we have, yeah, we covered almost everything. Yes. Okay, good. So if you are done with this, then I'm going to move to another part, okay, which is related to this. Now, how many of you can tell me what genes are? Gene. Define
Sir,
the term
functional
gene.
segment of DNA.
Functional segment of DNA. I need little bit more better, definition. Anybody? Somebody else? What do you mean by gene? Anyone? Please reply.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir,
Yes, sir.
segment of DNA which codes the DNA sequence, I think.
Codes the DNA sequence. Segment of DNA that codes the DNA sequence. मतलब आप तो same चीज को repeat कर दिए. DNA segment होगा या और कुछ होगा? हाँ? Biswa?
The segment of the DNA which controls the traits.
Controls the
Traits, sir.
traits. Okay, still I'm not convinced. Another definition. Yeah, Vishwa Prakash, Bisanjan was here.
Sir,
Yes, Sai Prasad.
sir, a gene is a basic physical and physical functional unit of heredity, sir.
Okay, heredity में आप लोग चले गए. I just need to learn. I have taught you something in class 11th, right? Biomolecular chapter. Based
Genes
on that,
are
it says, yeah.
genes
You
are
need,
made of DNA.
okay, genes are made of protein. Yeah, you need to read up your basic, brush up your basics. बहुत मतलब this is very bad. If you're not able to tell gene, really bad. Anyway, so gene is a, what you have learned. It is a segment of DNA,
DNA.
right, that codes for a protein or polypeptide chain. Am I right? This is what you have learned. Now you remember?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, good. So in this process of transcription, what you have learned is that, you know, DNA, as I said, so here the DNA give rise to RNA. And there are two more, type of, what do you call, the RNA, that is you also have the rRNA, and there is also tRNA. Right.
TRNA.
RNA and tRNA. So what happens is, to specify a segment of DNA that is coding only for the protein, instead we use a term cistron. Okay, it is it is a segment of the DNA. Cistron is refers to, it is a segment of DNA that is going to code for a polypeptide chain or protein. Now again, I'm going to make myself clear why I'm not going to use the term gene, because when I'm going to use the term gene, I'm also going to talk about the formation of rRNA and tRNA also. But when I use cistron, I specifically use it for the production of protein or the polypeptide chain. So the cistron can be of two types. Cistron arrangement can be of two types depending on the organism type. So in one case, it is called monocistron or monocistronic, and the second is called polycistron. Right. So what do you mean by monocistron? In monocistron, there is a single gene, right? A single structural gene in the transcription unit. So here you have a single structural gene associated. And because of that, what you'll have the formation of a single protein only. You'll get only one protein only. And where do you see this? You see this in case of the eukaryotes. Okay. Now, when we talk about the polycistron, in this case, you have more than one structural gene in a single transcription unit. And in this case, you might get more than one protein, and you see this in case of the bacteria and prokaryotic organisms. It is going to be in a polycystonic condition. In case of eukaryotes, it is going to be a monocystonic condition. Now, another thing that you have to keep in mind is, when we talk about the eukaryotic organisms and when we talk about the RNA that is produced here, right? So here there are two things. Here we have coding sequences as well as non-coding sequences part of the RNA. So we call that as the primary transcript. Okay, so the DNA forms actually RNA, and the RNA is not actually matured. Instead, it forms something called primary transcript. And the primary transcripts consist of exons and introns. Okay, now these exons, these are called coding sequences. They contain the coding sequences, and these are the non-coding sequences. Now what happens to this? Now these when the RNA, in case of again eukaryotes I'm talking about, these RNA, the primary transcripts, they undergo a process of RNA processing, or it is called the mRNA processing, or the process of maturation of mRNA. And then what will happen is the introns are removed and exons which are there, exons are joined, and that will basically give rise to the mature RNA, and that is going to be involved in the process of translation at a later point of time. So that's the difference. When we talk about the eukaryotes, there is going to be a monocystonic condition, and in this, the primary transcript that is formed is going to be consisting of exons, which are going to be coding sequences, and introns, which are called the non-coding sequences. And then these primary transcript that will undergo the maturation process called mRNA processing, and that in the process will remove the introns and join all the exons together to give rise to the matured RNA, which will be part of the next process of translation. So right now I'm going to show you quickly two image. Just give me a second. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, this already we have seen. I'm sorry. Okay, very sorry. Share again. Okay, I hope you can see the screen, and what you see here is your the entire unit. Now you can see here, this is your promoter region. Here you are going to have the terminator region. Transcription starts from the after the promoter region, and transcription ends after the terminator region. And you can see here upstream and also the downstream portions. And here this is your RNA coding region, or the structural gene we call it, and that will give us the RNA transcript, right? Primary transcript or RNA transcript. And this RNA transcript, in our case, in case of the human beings or in case of eukaryotic cells, they consist of the exons, right? They consist of exons and introns. Now these introns or intervening sequences, they are non-coding in nature. So the RNA processing will basically remove all of these introns and only be consisting of the exons. Now there are certain modifications, like the 5' cap and the 3' tail, that we'll be talking about in detail in the later part of the chapter. So that's all regarding the basics of the process of transcription. Now how it occurs in case of prokaryotes and eukaryotic organisms, we will talk about that in tomorrow's class. I hope you are clear with this. If you have any doubts, please ask. Any doubts you have?
Sir, after removal of intro.
Okay, not very clear. Can you just type your question? After removal of intron, something I heard. Please type your question. I'll just check. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else is having any other doubts? Please ask. Yes, Sai Prasad. Sai Prasad, ask. Are you all clear? Akanksha Panigrahi, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Akash, Ankita, are you people clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So very simple work for all. Okay. The Biswajan had got the question. after removal of introns, where the introns go, okay, what happens to introns basically? See, introns are removed from the entire primary transcript. They're not part of the final mRNA that is going to undergo the next process, translation. So question is, what happens? Of course, they're removed and they're degraded. Degraded means they're going to be reused, where again, you know what they're made up of? Nitrogen bases, right? Finally, they're broken down into nucleotide nitrogen bases, which can be reutilized. That's all, nothing else. I hope
Okay,
I'm
sir.
clear. Yeah, okay. Okay, other students? Arpita, clear?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, chalo, chalo. Okay, fine then. I think I'm going to end the class now. And if you have any doubts, please ask. Now, your homework for tomorrow is write down about this, write down about the transcription unit, and send it to me tomorrow in my email ID. Okay, that's your homework for today. Transcription basics and transcription unit diagram. This entire thing. Clear? Can you do it?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, all the best.
Yes, sir.
All the best. All the best. Okay,
Thank you,
chalo.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
all.
sir.
Thank you all for participating today.
Thank you, sir.
Can I take a screenshot, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can. I will just move out. I'll send the recording anyway, maybe.
Over, sir.
Okay. Anyway, I'll send the recording.